Hello everyone, my name is Nicole and today I'm going to be cooking multiple dishes to feed to the homeless. And while I do this, I kind of wanted to tell y'all a story and shed some light on mental health while I'm at it. I'm going to take y'all on the process of me cooking, and while I'm cooking, I'm going to tell y'all a bit about my story. The first dish I'm gonna be making is like turkey bagels that will have a lot of stuff on it, but our first step is going to be taking some bagels and I'm gonna put them in this lovely thing. I have my oven preheated to 375 and I'll show y'all what I do with it. I'm going to take some ham and I'm just gonna spray the dish down so that the bagels don't stick to it. So while I'm laying these out and I'm getting them all put up, I'm going to put butter on top of them and then I'm going to put some seasoning before I put them into the oven. So I'll go ahead and show y'all like what seasoning I'm going to put on and all that. I am putting salt on it, I'm putting pepper, I'm putting parsley, and I'm putting garlic powder. So while I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all a little bit about my story. Some people know, some people don't. So I'm 21 years old as of now, and starting at the age of 11, I began to experience audio hallucination, visual hallucinations, and if I'm super stressed, there'll even be physical hallucinations. Now, I feel as though when it comes to homeless people, there is a very big stigma around it almost. Now, don't get me wrong, there are 110% people out there that are homeless, and they hallucinate simply because they do drugs. I have had conversations personally with drug addicts that are homeless, and they told me, I only hallucinate because I do drugs. And so, that is the case for some people, but that's not the case for everyone. There are some people out there who are homeless because it was a bit out of their control. Some may have lost their job, some may have been living with someone, that person died, kicked them out, something, and they actually can't afford to live by themselves. And Thanksgiving is coming up. A lot of people are grateful enough to be able to spend that with family or with loved ones, but they're out there by themselves. They're sleeping out in the cold, some are sleeping on benches, some are sleeping under bridges. Like, they are going through a lot and they don't necessarily feel as though they have anyone. And on top of that, some of them dealing with mental illness such as schizophrenia, like I deal with myself. And I know that there's a lot of stigma when it comes to schizophrenia. Oh, it's drug related. If people didn't do drugs and they wouldn't hallucinate. Or there's the stigma that all people who are schizophrenic are these evil, violent people, and they have no self-control. They sit there and they scream to themselves and they throw their hands all around and all this other stuff. And honestly, that's not really to blame on anyone, because if you don't know anyone that deals with it personally, all that you have to go based off of is stuff that you'd see online or in movies. And movies portray schizophrenic people in a very horrible way, honestly. But we are not that bad of people. I mean, I work a job, I go to school, I maintain friendships, and everything else like that. And a lot of people, they have no idea that I suffer with anything unless I tell them, which should kind of add to the point of you don't know unless you know. And that being said, you don't really have the right to judge on something that you're not aware of. So hopefully by the end of this video, I'm able to kind of bring you more awareness to the subject. Now, I have my bagels buttered and seasoned, and I'm about to put them in the oven. So before I get too far in this video, because I've already forgot to say it, I would love to give a huge thankfulness and shout out to Canes for, I had went to Canes, and you can kind of see it right here. They were nice enough to give me to-go plates, because I went to 3 other places and they're like, yeah, no, we can't help you out. So I'm very thankful that they were able to help me out, because I didn't have anything to put this food in. Regardless if I made it, it's not really useful unless I have something to put it in. So for them doing that, I am very grateful. Right now, I'm gonna be cutting some onions and tomatoes, and I have pickles in the fridge and all that that's gonna help put it together. But like I said, this is just our first dish. We have a lot more to go. So back to my personal experience and my story. So at the age of 11, I began to experience hallucinations. And at the time, you know, this was the beginning. Whenever it happened, I honestly was not even aware of what was happening, because to me, these hallucinations seemed very much real. And my little sister witnessed it firsthand, probably more than anyone, just how much that affects me, especially being at a young age and stuff like that, and not really being well aware what's happening. I was seeing people, I was seeing bugs, I was seeing animals, I was seeing shadows, I was seeing shapes, I was seeing like a whole bunch of stuff. And I had tried to tell my dad about it, but my dad kind of just said that, oh, you're faking it and you just want attention, you're so desperate for attention, so you're trying to make this story up. And honestly, I hear that a lot with a lot of people who have suffered, like, oh, my parents didn't believe me, they thought that I was faking it for attention, and all this other stuff. And really the thing I've always wondered when it comes to those parents, my eyes are soaking water because of the onions. Oh my gosh. Y'all, my eyes are watering. I'm gonna have to come back in a second. My eyes watering way too bad to finish the story. Alrighty, I'm back. I have to get those onions done. My eyes are still a bit watery. But like I was saying, I've noticed that a lot with a lot of people that deal with mental illness, even if it's not schizophrenia and it's just another mental illness, and they try to tell their parents, and their parents think, oh, you know, you're faking it for attention. And I've always wondered with those parents, if you think that your child is faking something so extreme and it's clearly affecting their life, and you think that it's based off of lack of attention, why would you not give them attention then? See if that changes anything. See if you giving them constant attention, not even constant, just more attention, since you think that they need it, would anything change? Because, you know, 3 out of 4 times, it's not going to change anything, because this is a mental illness. It's not a lack of attention issue, it's a lack of proper health issue. So I began dealing with this when I was 11 years old, and for years I'm telling my dad, you know, like, hey, you know, I'm having these hallucinations and stuff, and like, not even necessarily like that, I'm more so telling him like, hey, I'm talking to da-da-da, or I'm seeing something, and he's telling me, yeah, no, there's no one there, that's not true, like, you're just making this up, all this other stuff. And finally, at the age of 13, I went to the mental hospital for the first time. And honestly, it was not a good experience, because, you know, I go there, and I've been to mental hospitals like 15 times now, which, yeah, is a lot, and you can categorize me as a crazy person if you would like to. That's perfectly fine. I truthfully don't care. But at the mental hospital, before you're 18, they can't really diagnose you as schizophrenic. So I had what was called severe psychosis, which means I have hallucinations, I have delusions, I have all this other stuff. And they tried to give me medication for it, and it simply didn't help. And that's been the case throughout this whole time now. You know, like I said, I've been to this hospital like 15 times. I have actually tried over 18 medications, and none of them help. So sometimes it's not even an issue of people not trying. It's just that sometimes there's actually nothing you can do about it sometimes. And while that sucks, it's also very hard to deal with, because I tried very hard to find something that would help me with this, because it's definitely not enjoyable in the slightest bit. I mean, I hallucinate, like I said, all the time. I hallucinate right now as I'm making this video. You wouldn't know this just looking at me. You wouldn't know this stuff. And that's the same case when it comes to a lot of people. And one moment while I grab more stuff. So I had those bagels in the oven probably for like 5 minutes, and I'm pulling them out now. The butter's melted a bit and all that, just so I can like go ahead and put the cheese and the turkey on it. So let me show y'all what it looks like. I don't want to touch it because it's hard. Right now, this is what it looks like. You can see that the butter's melted a bit, got the seasoning on there. And so now I'm about to put the cheese and the meat. Alrighty, now I put a piece of cheese on each one of the bagels, and then I put 2 slices of the pepper turkey breast onto them, and I'm about to put them back into the oven. While that batch is finishing up, I'm about to start working on my next main dish, which is gonna be like chicken thighs. And you're gonna go to like seasoned, marinated. I'm gonna put mustard, salt, pepper, garlic powder, the parsley, Old Bay seasoning, Italian seasoned blend, and a little bit of cayenne pepper on it. So I'm gonna do that real quick and get that going. So while I'm seasoning, the whole point of me talking about like my illness, like my mental health, and like putting all my business on blast is also just because like I'm grateful enough to be able to have a home. I have a place that I go to sleep every night. I wake up every morning, and I don't have to worry about that. I personally could not begin to imagine the difficultness it would be to deal with this issue and not have somewhere to do that, to have to be able to sleep outside and all that, because at night my hallucinations get way worse than they already are, and it's really hard. I mean, I don't even like going out at night because of that. I'm 21 years old, and I'll sit here and tell you that I'm scared of the dark. I don't like being in the dark. And yeah, that's a bit embarrassing to say, you could say, but I couldn't deal with this while not having a safe place to be. And the holidays coming up, you're sleeping outside, you don't have no one, so hopefully making all this food and giving it to them can kind of just, I mean, obviously I can't do nothing, but at least I can feed them. I have the ability to do that, and I'm doing that, and I'm taking y'all along while I do it. I just finished seasoning the chicken, and I pulled out those bagels from the oven, and I'm about to show y'all like how I'm gonna plate it and get it going. I am gonna make like sides and stuff, but I was just trying to knock out this like main stuff, because there's like several main dishes, but a lot of the sides are gonna be the same. So yeah, let me show y'all how I'm gonna do that. I am going to be putting the bagels in some foil to keep it warm, and then I also have a huge insulated bag that I'm gonna carry everything in whenever I go to give it to them. Right now I have the tomatoes on there, I have the onion on there, and I'm about to be putting these pickles on there. Oh Lord, I'm spilling some of the juice. Once I put everything on there, I went ahead and wrapped it in the tin foil, and I'm gonna repeat this whole process for the other ones. Before I finish the other ones, I'm gonna go ahead and get the meat started in the oven. I have my temperature at the same that I had it before, the 375. Right now, I have my first side started. I've got some corn going. I put butter, salt, and pepper in there. I am getting started on my second side. I'm doing green beans. I'm gonna get those going. Same thing, butter, salt, and pepper. The green beans are finishing up. Right now, I'm cutting up some apples to put in it to kind of give it a fruit, because we got like a protein, we got a vegetable, so I'm gonna add a fruit in there. My face is red because all the cooking is making it hot, but right now we have just finished up the rest of the bagels, so I'm about to go ahead and put everything on them, get it all set up. I have over here to my side, I have like the plates set up, and I'm getting everything put together. The chicken is not done yet, it's still in the oven. I am cutting up a cucumber, which I'm also gonna add to the dishes that have to do with the chicken. So whenever I did the turkey bagels, I did the turkey bagels, I did corn, and I did apples, and then I did a granola bar. For these, I'm gonna do on the chicken, I'm gonna do the chicken, I'm gonna do the green beans, I'm gonna do cut up cucumbers with lime and a little bit of tahini. Alrighty, we are almost completely finished. The chicken is finishing up. Right now I have plated, everything set. I have green beans, I have the cucumber lime tahini on it. Then I'm gonna add the chicken to that, and we should be able to go ahead and get headed out and giving it to them. I wanted to cook more plates, and I will, because I have the food to cook, but I am running out of time today. This took me a long time to do this. I've been doing this for like hour and a half already, almost a little bit longer than that. So y'all will be seeing this kind of content even more, so I really hope that y'all do enjoy this. I'm gonna show y'all how it's plated before I end the video. Yeah. Alrighty, this is what these plates look like. There's chicken, there's cucumber lime with tahini, there's green beans, and there is a piece of bread. Alrighty, nearly 2 hours later, hot, gross, everything else like that, we're complete. I was able to make a total of 10 plates. So yeah, that's 10 people that are gonna be fed today. So hope y'all enjoyed this video. Hopefully I kind of spread some insight on mental health and how it can affect anyone, and you shouldn't judge people just on how they look, because you don't know what they're dealing with. I hope that y'all enjoyed this video. Like I said before, I have other food that I'll be cooking, but I can't do no more today. Yeah, thank y'all for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Goodbye. I am also giving pieces of like a cookie cake, so yeah.